Hello. In this video, I will try to be brief and explain how I use backplates in some of my product photography. This is an example of an image that I just finished, and it's using a backplate. And the reason I use backplates is especially when I have gradients in the background, um, because they are very difficult to replicate, I find at least. Probably somebody will tell me in the comments that it's really easy, but to me it's kind of difficult to fix or to retouch photographs and to get the gradients just right. So let me first show you the image as I shot it in camera. Is that how they say it? How I shot it in camera? Anyway, so this is the photograph. So I got a couple of things going on here. So I have the crown pulled out to stop the watch. I also have some kind of a support here to make the watch stay in this position. There's a bit of weight um, on this strap on this side, on the left side, so the watch tended to tip over and lean in the other direction. And then, of course, I also had to make a bit of a mistake here, and I had a little bit of that piece of paper in my shot. This is just a bit of translucent paper to keep this rim from blowing out. Anyway, this is my photo, and if this is the only shot you have, you can fix it. You can kind of try to get rid of this, but then you have to kind of match this gradient, which is going to be, well, to be honest, I don't know how, I never get that right. Here for the crown, it's probably going to be a bit easier because here it's not really a real, big transition, let's say. But here again, we have a fairly dark to a slightly less dark transition, so you would have to get that right as well. Of course, you can cut out the image, or sorry, you can cut out the watch and then recreate everything in Photoshop, like the gradient, but I didn't want to do that. So what I did instead is I shot a second image, which is just the background and no watch. And then it's making my job a little bit easier. So let me switch over to Photoshop and get these two images. So the one with the watch and then just the background. So I'm going to press V and then move that. This is an old Photoshop version. You don't have to put that in the comments. I know. I paid for this a lot of money and I'm not gonna spend money renting stuff that I already have. I know I could probably use artificial generative fill for this kind of job, but I'm not going to do that. Now, I want to show you that it's really, when you have a backplate like this, you can be a little bit sloppy when you do your cutouts. So I'm going to be a little bit, and I'm sorry about the gong. I always get the gong when I press the space bar. So I'm going to be quite sloppy, as you can see, with one exception. I'm going to try not to use a space bar. So here I'm going to be a little bit more precise because here that's the area where I will be moving the crown to join up with the watch. So I'm going to be a little bit more careful here, but once I've cleared this area, I'm going to be quite sloppy and I'm just, oh, come on. So I'm going to be quite rough. Let's zoom out a bit and make it even quicker. There we go. So here I'm gonna have to come back, I think. There we go. Oops. Let's add a point here and move it out of the way. So here I think I should also be a little bit more careful. So I'm gonna try and move these, and make them follow the shape of the watch. I'm gonna add a point here. Let's make that a little bit more fluid. How do you call those curves? Bezier curves. Let's see. going to make them a little bit smooth and follow the shape of the watch. Um, okay, and then this one, I'm not really sure what this dark spot is, but I'm going to get rid of it. Or at least try. So I think that's probably going to be good. And I'm going to just do a little bit of a, come on. Okay. Good, so this is my product cutout. So I'm going to call this products. There we go. Control click, go back to the layer. Let's zoom out a bit. And then when you hit the mask icon, you see you have a pretty decent cutout. Now, you have to zoom in a bit, and if you do that, I'm not sure if you will be able to see this on YouTube, but there is a bit of a brightness difference here, so there's a bit of a harsh line here. Now you could try to feather, but then of course you will also feather here where you really want to be precise. So I don't want to feather. What I'll do instead is I will add a levels layer, and I found that I need to type in 1.02, and then to the left I will see there is no transition anymore to be seen, but on the right there is a little bit. So I don't really need that correction on the right hand side. So what I'll do is I'll just grab a gradient from black to white and from black to nothing. Well, it's actually going to be black to white, right, in the layer. Yeah. And then it's going to be perfect on the left and perfect on the right. So you want to maybe take a bit of time to go, and check all the edges and all the areas, but it all looks pretty good. I have some cleaning up to do. So the healing, that's something I will not be showing in this video. And then the only other thing you still need to do, of course, is that crown. You have to kind of grab that crown, and the way I do that is I just make a selection. This is going to be a little bit of a more precise selection because the color around it, the yellow, is, this is an area where the yellow is changing in brightness, even though here it's actually not too bad. This is brighter and this is a bit darker, so you do want to be a little bit precise here. So this is going to be crown, control click, and then I'm going to activate this layer, press Control J, so I make a new layer with just one thing, which is the crown. And then of course the rest you probably know what you have to do. You have to press V and then move this like so, and then of course you will probably need to do a bit of cleaning. So you just actually I typically use the pen tool to kind of try and follow that curve of the the watch case. Oh, I messed it up, so I'm gonna do good enough for this video. Make a selection and then brush, make sure I'm in the mask layer. And again, you want to be a little bit more precise probably for your actual, what am I doing? Brush, no, X, there we go. There we go. And then here we need a little bit of cleaning up. So I'm just gonna take a brush for the sake of this, or you could probably do the clone stamp. Let's do clone stamp. And I'm just gonna fill this gap with a bit of dark color. Okay. And there you go. So that is, instead of, having to make super precise selections with the pen tool and then doing clone stamping and making sure that your gradient stays intact, this is a much easier way of doing it. Of course, it requires that you plan ahead and that you take that back plate. All right, that's it. If you have any comments, any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you like this video, consider giving it a like. If you're not subscribed to this channel and you would like to see more videos like these, why not subscribe? Thank you very much for watching and see you the next time. Bye bye.